Okay, are we live right now? I think we are. All right. Good morning. Nick, good morning. Hope you got a cup of coffee. Can you guys hear me? Hope so. Oh, Greg, how you doing? It's awesome. Think you're on your lunch break? I'm doing great. Hey, Philip. Hey. I I I'll just call you Callahan. Oh my gosh. Hey, Nick. Josh? Wow. Holy moly. Sean? Wow. Great turnout. This is all we need. We don't need anyone anymore. How's everyone doing? It's Monday. It's sunny. I think we're officially done with winter here on the West Coast because uh it's warm. It's getting there. The evenings are still a little nippy, but you know, what can you do? Nick, no worries at all. 6 p.m. on a Monday. I'm just tired now. Oh wow. Yeah. See, good morning here and good evening wherever you are. Hey, you made it. South Dakota. Nice. Well, this is great. Just had lunch. We'll be getting back to work. All right. Well, I don't know what to talk about right now. Uh, I will be celebrating my first year of uh, being married. So that'll be this Saturday. First year anniversary. Time has just gone by way too fast. It's it's uh it's been amazing. Um it's gone by way too fast. I want it to slow down a little bit because for us it's always been a slumber party every night. It's a party over here. And I don't know. I really got to I married my best friend. So I it's pretty awesome. So we're gonna have a blast. Go to various coffee shops, go to some bookstores, and take her out to one of our favorite spots for dinner uh, Friday. So that'll be fun. Oh my gosh, you forgot your coffee. I've got mine right here. I'm drinking out of Amanda's favorite mug. One of them. She's got a handful of favorite mugs, but this is one she frequents because we're potheads here. Potheads as in this coffee. Recently watched the video getting to know you and Amanda. She seems lovely. Yeah, she's amazing. And for her to have that confidence to go out and be in front of the camera takes a lot. It takes a lot of courage to do that. By the way, have you read any of Cormac McCarthy books? I have. I have read The Road once when I was a wee lad, when I was 21, and I plan on rereading that maybe this year. Hello. Thank you for the recommendation of The Last Unicorn. Amazing book. Yeah, Alexander. Uh, Alex. Yeah, it's The Last Unicorn is an amazing book. I think it's just pure poetry. Every line has just been something that sticks with me, and I just want to soak it in. My uncle is actually reading that right now. He and I've been doing the Wheel of Time book club kind of thing, and uh, yeah, he's finally caught up, finished Wheel of Time, and now he's on The Last Unicorn, and he's been enjoying it greatly. Yeah, the road's great. I hear the road is. Some people say it's The Last of Us done right. Do I have any tattoos? Yes. I have a tattoo of my mother's handwriting. This is from a letter that she wrote me. My dear son, I am so proud of you. Uh, yeah, Amanda got this for me as my first tattoo a few years back. My mom, you know, if you don't know, she passed. It's going to be 10 years now or so. And today, crazy, it's actually her birthday, April 7th. So I always like to honor. I like to honor her every day in my actions and attitude, but on her birthday, I don't know, figure something out. But I have this of my mom's handwriting, and then I have a little Bible verse, Hebrews 4:12. It didn't get fully finished. It's kind of faded. She didn't go in deep. And then I have got it. Got to get the wait. Where's the camera? There it is. That's a D20 die right there. For Dungeons and Dragons. That's the book I've been reading. I think it's my favorite book ever. Mind blowing. Not gonna lie. Are you talking about The Road or The Last Unicorn? Have you read Lies of Locke Lamora? I have not, but I will. I absolutely will. Yeah, The Last Unicorn doesn't get enough appreciation or enough attention because it came out. It came out just like a handful of years after Lord of the Rings. I think Lord of the Rings was what, 40s or 50s, and then The Last Unicorn was in the 60s. And when you talk fantasy, why don't people mention like The Last Unicorn as a classic? It's very confusing. Yeah, the Dungeon Crawler Carl books I think are worth the price though. These are just beautiful, beautiful covers. They're quality, made with quality, and they have a little. Every book has a themed phrase on the inside cover. Ray X, hey Thomas, how you doing? I'm doing great. I'll get my first tattoo. Did it hurt for you? The tattoo felt it didn't hurt that bad. It's I mean, I only got handwriting, so it's I don't know, it's different for everyone. Pain, tolerance. It just feels like a lot of little needle pricks, which that's kind of what it is. Red, how you doing? Just bought the first Law trilogy. Looking forward to it. Also reading Robin Hobb for the first time. Farseer trilogy. Hate to hear about your mom. Sorry about that. You know, Nick, it's been 10 years and there's no accidents, you know. Her passing is part of God's timing. And I think of her every day. But yeah, it comes in with sadness here and there, but it's a lot of times it's joy and being able to live life carrying her legacy with who I am and my actions. It's an honor. Do you think you'll ever finish the Mistborn trilogy? I don't think so. When you didn't know what kind of career you wanted to do later on or whatever, I think you were learning. Oh, the career thing. That's a whole video in and of itself. When I get tan, I just felt like, yeah, sunburn. Oh, you got your coffee. Good, 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 good. All right, I'm gonna deviate from the chat here for just a little bit because I want to kind of talk about my Empire of Silence thoughts. I did a review of this book. This is what I recently finished, and I did a video on that. If you haven't seen it, check it out if you'd like. Half of it is spoiler free, but it feels very incomplete as a book review, and I'm sorry about that. But the my thoughts still stand. However, I was provided a handful of comments that shed a lot of new light on this book and on the series. One of which I don't know the exact comment, but he phrased it as, "Hey, this is not a slow-paced story. That's not what you're looking for. It's not like that." And this character, Hadrian, we're talking space, we're talking galaxies, we're talking the way time moves with, hyperspace and space travel. It's different. So apparently he outlives a lot of people for hundreds and hundreds of years, and he's telling his story. So that being said, I need to look at it like that. Like, hey, this is a whole 7-book series, and this is hundreds of years happening. So I'm not going to get a Wheel of Time in-depth kind of story with Sun Eater. So I think approaching the next books, I will look at it in that light, because I think when reading this, I had not preconceived thoughts. I was influenced by the hype, but it was more so my baseline of what I look for in books and what I enjoy and about, pacing. And I think I was fixated on, like, man, why isn't it paced slowly? Why isn't it paced organically like this and that? And I think that ruined some of my experience. And I know having, a book one that doesn't land for you, it can poison, your experience moving forward into the rather the other books. So my experience isn't ruined. I absolutely plan on reading book 2 eventually. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. What I'm going to be reading next. And I have a handful of books next to me. So we've got Howling Dark. That's the next book in this series, but I'm not going to be reading that next. I'm taking a little break. So yeah, although I hear this is where it's at. This is where it all begins. So we'll see. And then we've got this beautiful book right here. I think a month and a half, 2 months ago, I read Dungeon Crawler Carl, the first book. I'm not going to be reading this next because actually, I got a lovely email from Audible saying, "Hey, 3 months for $15. Yeah, I'll take you up on that." So I went ahead and signed up on that. 3 months, simple, easy. Don't have to spend too much money on that. And I'm going to do what a lot of you say to do. And that's listen to the audiobook. I am partial to physical books, but everyone says the performer in Dungeon Crawler Carl, unreal. So my wife and I have a road trip for a work trip coming up soon, and I think we'll listen to that. All right, I'm gonna dive into the chat real quick. Oh man, I'm behind. Do you have relationships with the Hunger Game books? I read the Hunger Game. I tried to read the first Hunger Games book in high school. No. I also don't like the perspective it's written in. It's like first person. I don't know. It's a very odd perspective the way it's told, and I just didn't jive with it. Also, I was 17. Brazil. Oh my gosh, Rodrigo. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, your son's name is Thomas. Just turned 2. Well, happy belated birthday to Thomas. I was named after my mom's uncle, and she kept my Russian middle name, Roman. I took a break from reading Dune, jumped back into book 3. Gosh, it feels good to get back into the universe. I know it feels good to take a break from a series and then just kind of come back in with just excitement. You're like, wow, I've missed that world. That was Wheel of Time for me. You know, taking breaks and coming back and like, oh, yes. Name of the Wind, but I'm traumatized because of the Gentleman Bastard never finishing. Yeah, I mean, both of those series aren't finished, and I don't think it should take away from your experience, though. I think you should absolutely continue to read series that you like, books that you're wanting to do, and especially Name of the Wind. It's my favorite book of all time. Hearing you speak about your mom always makes me think of my grandma. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, though. We miss our loved ones, but we get to carry on, their legacy through who we are and what we do in life. Yo, Pod Nano, how you doing? How's the new baby coming? Oh, hey, I made a live stream. Have you any thought of delving into the indie published verse? How do you go about building a TBR? Hey, Ryan, how you doing? I don't have a TBR. My TBR is my bookshelf. It's literally built, and that is my built TBR. I think that's the best TBR. I think I talked about this in my last live stream. Just being able to put a book away, not really having any plans of what to read next, and you just look at that bookshelf and you're looking at all your books. You're like, wow, I think I'm going to read this one. So that's kind of how I go about it. The indie publishing verse, I haven't really delved deep into that yet. On the struggle bus with EOS, Empire of Silence. There are lots of words that I don't know. Yeah. First chapter with Chris, great channel. Go check him out. Yeah, a lot of big words in Empire of Silence. It was a lot to deal with, but you get a handle of it more and more. And I think the more you read and metabolize the author's language, you're able to get comfortable with it. Whether you understand the words or not, you at least are understanding how they're used, which I think helps understanding the meaning. Do you need to understand D&D to get the most out of? No, you do not need to understand D&D to get the most out of Dungeon Crawler Carl. No, not at all. If you're a fan of D&D, then you'll love and appreciate Dungeon Crawler Carl. Have you ever read any Game of Thrones? I have not. I've heard amazing things. And kind of just to back up on what I've said before, how a series doesn't need to be finished for you to, not read it. You should still read a series, even if it isn't finished. And so many put Game of Thrones up high up on their list, even if it's not finished. Four Corners of the Page. How you doing? I'm actually doing a live stream with David later on. I don't know when. Soon, maybe in a week, maybe in 2 weeks. We'll be talking about Empire of Silence. He and I are doing a little buddy read of that, and I'm excited to go into a little more depth about that with him. Halfway through Eye of the World. I'm loving every page. Lucas, I'm so happy about that. I so want to read Eye of the World again. It's that simple, humble beginnings. Hunger Games is written in first person, as is most of Name of the Wind, so I'm really curious to explore what it is that fell flat for you. I think, well, I was a young kid, so that's what that was. I didn't care to read. Uh, that's number one for sure. Hi, Thomas. Hey, Chris. How you doing? Have you heard or read of the Hyperion? Oh my gosh, you are. I think you're the fourth person today to recommend that to me. I have heard of it. I don't know much of it. Midnight Chronicler. Don't withhold a great story from yourself just because it's missing a book or two. Okay. Let's get that plastered right here. Let's put it on a t-shirt. Someone quote that right now. I need that. I'm copying and pasting that. That's too good. By the way, two channels, well, a handful of channels you got to check out. Four Corners of the Page, David, just amazing. He's not getting enough recognition. I think the algorithm doesn't like him, but I like him, and I know there are a lot of other booktubers and book fans out there that love him, and he provides so much insight to books, storytelling. Go check him out. Four Corners of the Page. Midnight Chronicler, legend. Just the best. And Red's Reading and Gaming Cafe. He kind of mixes gaming and reading with a cozy atmosphere. Chill guy. And then the first chapter with Chris. I love it because he's starting his reading adventure with us. He literally started reading books and he shared that with YouTube. Like that, it's already pretty daunting to get into books and get into that space, but to share it with the world, that takes a lot of confidence and bravery. And I think it's great because there's the back and forth discussion that you're able to have, and love what he's doing, and I love just following along people's reading journeys. Oh my gosh, I'm way behind on the love your personality. How you remain so calm? Any tips? I've I if you call me calm, I don't know. I get pretty caffeinated. I'm a golden retriever when it comes to just being excited about things. Okay. Let me Do we want to know what I'm going to read next? Do we have any thoughts? What do you guys think? If I'm not going to be reading Dungeon Crawler Carl, if I'm not going to be reading Howling Dark, I don't know. I think that means I'm going to be reading something else. What about The Stand? Stand I'm saving for a later time. By the way, I'm sorry if I miss some of your messages. I'm not able to keep, tabs on every chat as much as I want to. It will just exhaust me and I won't have any time to do work later on in the day. Shogun. Oh yeah. Yeah. I want to watch that show. Sword of Kaigen. I actually was looking into that book. I don't know. I'm scared. I don't know if it's too potentially YA, which isn't a bad thing, but thankfully it's a one book. It's not a series, it's just one book. So may need to give it a shot eventually. Back to the workday. Midnight, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Going back to Lives of Locke Lamora? No, I know. Sadly, I will not. Did I read The Shining? I have not, but I will. I absolutely will. All right, here we go. This is it. This is what I'm going to be reading next. Assassin's Apprentice. I just keep getting comments. I keep getting comments like, have you tried Robin Hobb? Have you tried Robin Hobb? You talk about pacing, you talk about characters and slow. Oh my gosh. Oh, did I miss you guys? Sorry. Just got a phone call. It's connected to my. All right. Mute notifications. But yeah, it's like, hey, you love characters, you love slow pace, you love this. Robin Hobb, Robin Hobb. And yeah, I'm going to give her a shot because I've pushed her off for 3 or 4 years now. And I heard about her the moment I finished Name of the Wind. I had a friend on Instagram. She was like, hey, have you read the Farseer trilogy? And it's like, no, I haven't, you know. And after finishing Name of the Wind, I was just comparing everything to Patrick Rothfuss and his writing style. And nothing could match it in my eyes because of it was just so unique to me. And yeah, so people were like, hey, if you love Assassin's Apprentice, or no, if you love Name of the Wind, you'll love Robin Hobb. And I think I'm going to do it. And many of you have recommended her. I'll at least start out with the Farseer trilogy. I'll read this book, see where my head's at, maybe continue on the trilogy, or you know, get back into Empire of Silence or whatnot. So I would love Robin Hobb. What a gorgeous edition. Yes, it's a bookshelf edition. You know, I don't want to be taking this to coffee shops, but sadly, that's just what I'm doing. And books are meant to be read, and I get it. We can collect books, put pretty books on our shelves and never touch them for some reason, or we can, you know, read from these books. And these are the only editions I have. And they have 11 illustrations. And yeah. Okay, David, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Yeah, I look for characters that have depth, and I just keep saying the same things. You know, organic pace, characters with depth. I don't have many other words to say how else to explain that, but I love characters that really, for the lack of a better term, feel real. And I always say feel human. I want characters that feel human. And I know that sounds weird. It's like, oh, duh, we're all human. Characters are human. But there are certain books, there are certain movies, there are certain stories and games that have characters that no one would say that. No human would say that. No real person would feel this way in this way, you know, or during this circumstance. So reading characters, you know, that feel human, that have that human element, it's mainly that relatability where you're able to relate to a character and understand the feeling that they're having in a circumstance and in a moment of time that sticks with me. And everyone says Robin Hobb, she knows how to write characters. You know, Red's Reading and Gaming Cafe. Robin Hobb's Characters have a great deal of depth. I look forward to seeing your thoughts on the book. I also have the beautiful illustrated editions. Um, have the farce here. What do you think about Persona 5? Still playing it. Haven't been playing as much just because of work, but I'm still working through it. You usually read literary fiction, or you're more focused on fantasy, sci-fi, because what you're interested in books is screaming literary. Yeah, I that's a good point. I think we all have our own tastes, and I think the more you read, the more you figure out what you like, and you discover new tastes and styles, and that's the joy of reading. So, uh, you know, yeah, maybe. I don't even really understand what literary fiction is, because as a definition, I don't know. Um, I think literature is anything. Literature, like words. Fiction, that's another genre. But anyways, trying to catch up in the chat here real quick. Gotta go. Cheers, man. Looking forward to your opinion on the next read. Thank you, Spencer. Thanks for hopping in and hanging out. And yes, I would expect this would probably why you bounced off Sanderson, because there are many characters in Way of Kings that don't act like real people. And that's not the worst thing. Sometimes we want, a TV show or a book that just we could shut our brains off and just kind of have fun, laugh. But the funny thing is Dungeon Crawler Carl is a nonstop joyride, in my opinion. And there's so much action and comedy and just outlandish situations. Yet the characters are the ones that are making the decisions. They're not vessels for exposition. They're not saying things that they wouldn't otherwise say. They're not doing things that they're doing things based off who and what they are, and their principles and their standards and their personalities. And Carl and Donut, it's amazing. A talking cat? Sorry if that's a spoiler, but Carl and Donut have so much emotional depth. And that's what makes this series so good. You can be laughing out loud in one moment, and then you can be choked up in another. Because there's that depth, that human element that's relatable, and it just sticks with you. I don't want to build up hype, but you should get that from Assassin's Apprentice, at least from my perspective. Yeah, I'm excited. Nick, thank you so much for hanging out. Means so much. Big fan of your channel, your insight. We haven't had much overlap in books we read, but always appreciate your thoughts and presentation on books and topics. Keep up the good work, my dude. Tyrese, thank you. That means a lot. I don't expect us all to have overlap and read the same books, but it really is a joy that we are able to come together here on this channel, and even Booktube as a whole, and just share the love that we have for books, and why, and what are you reading, and what am I reading, and are you liking it, and just hanging out and having a cup of coffee. It's great. Thank you for all the content, and good luck in the future projects. Nice seeing you streaming. Thank you so much. So while genre fiction and some of what you read is emphasizing the stuff lit fic does clear style and character style and theme, it's not quite hitting the same levels. Okay. I guess that makes sense. Oh no, this is nice. Catching your live stream after a day of work. Oh, love it. Nice. What are your plans after work? They have a show about that book? Oh yeah, they have a show about that book. Not to spoil, so I won't say much, but the Hoarder in DCC was really deep. If you know, you know. Okay, all right, yeah. Videos always motivate me to finish my TBR. That's awesome. The funny thing is you saying that I motivate you to finish your TBR, you motivate me to read. I I get great motivation to read. Um, I love reading of my own volition, but there's a way of just I don't know. It's exciting to approach the day of like, hey, you know what? I'm going to read because not that you are depending on me to finish a book and get a review out. No, it's I want to talk about books with you. So I want to read, and I want to keep reading because it's exciting to talk about books with you and hang out and share this hobby with you. It's nice. It's like a little book club that we have here. Whenever I talk about something related to books or movies that I love, I feel so emotional and teary. Not physically with someone else, though, talking with myself or maybe ChatGPT. I don't know if that's weird. I I have no idea what you mean by that. Need to hop off. But hey, thanks for hanging out, Red. It's always a joy seeing you pop up. I don't think one season would be enough to cover that book. It's a great story. If you're still talking about Shogun, I think there is a second season coming out. Unless I'm talking about a completely different show, my bad. Got a cup of coffee? Heck yeah, I got a cup of coffee right here. Any plans on making an online literal book club of some kind? That would be fun. How would we do that? We could brainstorm here because I don't know exactly um, how we would do that. And I see a lot of booktubers and YouTubers in general have like Patreons. I don't know exactly how that works, and it's like a paid membership thing. Even if I had one, what would I offer? I know some people do Discord and they have like a book of the month kind of thing. Uh, but like paying to do that, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Everyone's got to review what's interesting in individual experience of a reader. Books change as people change. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, how would we organize a book club? And like I don't know, it's it's a it's a little scary for me. It's just another organizational thing that I have to deal with, and all the logistics of it kind of scare me. So I don't know how I would handle handle a Discord book club and whatnot, but uh, maybe eventually. So yeah, I like PewDiePie's idea on book club this year. You just announce which books being read, which month, and just live stream. Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. That's a good idea. Cool. Could have a theme each month. People submit books that fit the theme, then pick two that everyone votes on. Okay, now we're cooking. I actually like these ideas. Taking a photo of this real quick. That's a good idea. Thank you for that. That's awesome. So, let me ask you guys something. This is what I'm reading this month, this coming week. Um, I'm actually 40 pages in. So I've cheated a little bit. I've already read a little bit of this. And let me tell you, Robin Hobb, she has a way of just humanizing these characters, this world, creating a feeling, an atmosphere that really you feel immersed in. And This is what I have been waiting for. This is what I've been wanting. And I think I've been pushing it off so long because I know I can only read a book for the first time once. And I guess I'm afraid of never being able to read the Farseer trilogy for the first time again. So I've kind of procrastinated on that, and I'm very happy. I I've made that decision to read her trilogy because this is what I've been looking for. Wheel of Time definitely hit. The Last Unicorn hit. Dungeon Crawler Carl. I've enjoyed what I've been reading, but ever since Name of the Wind, this is it. This is it. It follows the story of a 6-year-old boy, a bastard child, and just kind of navigating that life and that world of potentially being in a royal line while also being a bastard child. And she captures what it would feel like to be a child in a medieval world, and what a child would do in a medieval town, how they would play, how they would explore the streets. And oh, it's so good. So good. Oh, it's perfect. It's beautiful. So my question is, because I'm reading this, what do you guys plan on reading this month? And what are you reading now? Did you ever get through the reading slump? Yes. I got through this. And now I'm going through this and enjoying every second. I'm sorry, your comment, that's funny. So I stopped reading on the toilet. Yeah. I that's yeah. Bradley, you just started The Assassin's Apprentice. I love it. What are you thinking of it? The Witcher book's currently on book 6, I believe. Nice. I didn't get that far. I got through the short stories. Reading The Fellowship of the Ring, The Shining. Okay. When I'm done with my current books, I will probably move to by Neil Stephenson. Reading Elantris by Brandon Sando. Nice. Heard good things about that. And then I have a whole shelf to read. One book at a time. Reading Fourth Wing. I know it's a guilty pleasure. Hey, nothing wrong with it. A lot of people love that book. It's funny. I have a friend who is a good friend of mine and a mentor, and he is actually the one that got me to read Name of the Wind. He gifted Name of the Wind to me, and I respect so much about who he is and what he stands for. And he's a screenwriter in Hollywood, and he and I've kind of inspired each other in the film industry. And he has a very profound thinker, and all these deep ideas and grand ideas for films and books, and he reads a lot. And then he and I got lunch one day a couple years ago. This was right before the Fourth Wing craze happened, and he mentioned Fourth Wing. I'm like, okay, give it a shot. I trust you. I really do. And I could never get a copy because it was sold out everywhere. And then I was still in Wheel of Time. So uh, I just missed that bandwagon of Fourth Wing, and I'm okay with it, because I'm deep into my other books. Started it, and it's so good. Love that. I have yet to start that, but down the line for sure. Currently reading Dune, and it's definitely going to be one of my top favorites. Love it. Got Okay, nice. Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. And if you've read Farseer trilogy, please, please do not spoil anything for me. I know literally nothing about this series. Jurassic Park is great, but also way darker than the movies. Yep, that's what I've heard. Been in a reading slump like 6 months. Whenever I start a book, I end up stopping, pick another one, reading Name of the Wind for the first time. Hopefully, it will be the book I finish. Oof, that's tough. Because Name of the Wind, I don't know. It depends on who you are and what kind of reader you are and what you look for in language and writing. But maybe Name of the Wind could get you out of it. Because I don't know, it changed my world. Have you read The Hobbit? Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I have read The Hobbit. It's great. I kind of want to read it again. Um, I can probably blow through it in a weekend because it's just that cozy blanket kind of book, kind of story. Currently reading The Blade itself, loving it. Alexa, what are you loving about The Blade itself? Because I hear amazing things about that. Did you play an Souls game other than Elden Ring? Uh, I have not. Elden Ring is my only Souls game, and I've still haven't beaten it yet. First Law is the single best fantasy series ever. Okay, that's high praise. Book slumps can be hard. Yeah, book slumps are weird because they're different for everyone. They can they can go on for weeks, days, years, a lifetime, uh, or they could be a weekend. And it's all about the attitude and also kind of what's going on around your life and the circumstances, um, distractions, and kind of what you're in the mood for. This book, it's funny. I say I wanted it to be slower, yet there were elements to it that were very sloggy, very slumpy, and I think that's what helped me get into my slump. And I don't know, I'm out of it finally. But yeah, I don't know. Again, it's. I'll talk more about it on my live stream with David, Four Corners of the Page. But when I finished it, I wasn't like, yeah, can't wait, so excited. But you know, maybe the second book will be that it for me because everyone says, it's book 2 and 3 that's like, hey, I can't stop reading, and I know it's different for everyone, but we'll see. This, I'm really excited. I'm excited I get to listen to this on audio with my wife in the car, experience that story with her together. Uh, and I know I've said in the past where I'm like, I don't want to read 2 books at the same time because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be reading this still in the next couple of weeks. But the only way I'll potentially read 2 books at once is if they're mostly 2 different genres, and also if one's an audiobook and one is a physical book. So, yeah, that's why I'll be reading 2 books at once. On the topic of reading slumps, I recently quit social media. Fine, I'm still on YouTube and suddenly feel that I have a lot more time. Oh yeah, it's amazing cutting out social media, uh, what that can do. Sadly, I'm on it now for work. So there are elements, there are moments of time where I'm like, dang, I just scrolled for 10 minutes and I didn't earn anything in value. But I'm there's an app that I use. It's called the Opal app. You should definitely download it. It locks your social media apps for certain times. It's very nice. Very helpful for work days, especially if you're self-employed. I don't know if I should read Dungeon Crawler Carl or Sword of Kaigen. I have many books that are a continuation. I have also Hyperion. Yeah, it's tough. I would just go based off of what you're feeling. We're gonna have books to read our whole lives. We're never gonna run out of books to read, and that's an amazing blessing. But really just go one book at a time. Because when I'm finishing a book, ever so slightly, uh, that feeling and that excitement will creep in where I'm like, now I'm feeling this book. I'm excited for this one. So I think toward the end here, I made my decision where I'm like, you know what? I think it's right. I think it's the right time to dive into Assassin's Apprentice. Hey Thomas, should I read Lord of the Rings? Got into fantasy with Narnia, and I want to read The Grandfather before I read the other fantasy people, but it's intimidating. That's up to you. That's really up to you. I pushed off on not reading Lord of the Rings because it may sound a little hipster-ish or pretentious, but there's more to fantasy than Lord of the Rings. That's just how it is. Yes, Lord of the Rings came first in a way, but there are so many good fantasy stories outside of Lord of the Rings and even outside of Dune, when you talk about sci-fi. That's just how it is. And I think you should read what you want, read what you're feeling, maybe start off with the first volume of Lord of the Rings, see where your head's at, and go from there. But really, so many great stories. Ellie, might I recommend The Last Unicorn because it's short and I think it's a pretty easy breezy read. Also, I was a fantasy only reader, then I stumbled upon the Three Pines series. I have been stuck. Has anyone ever heard that happen? Three Pines series by Lewis Penny. Okay. Is The Last Unicorn too lighthearted? No. No. Excuse me. There The Last Unicorn is so deep. Without going into great detail, but each sentence just feels like just a vivid painting. And I don't know. I just kept just taking my time with it. There are so many moments in that story. There's words and passages that just make you sit there and think. And I feel like it's a book that is very rewarding on a reread. And don't base The Last Unicorn off the movie because it's a children's movie, but the book is not a children's story, in my opinion. Sure, you could read it to your child, maybe, but it's very adult in its themes and the stories it's trying to tell. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It is dark in ways, and there's drunkenness in there, uh, and that's not a bad thing. But it's when you think of like children's books, you're just like the wizard is just drinking a little too much. But it's dark in its messaging, and um, it's honestly kind of not not depressing, but it's a sad book, but also a very beautiful sad, if that makes sense. Yeah, I agree, Fox. If it's too lighthearted and just too happy-go-lucky, eh, you know, I could play Animal Crossing to be happy, but I'd rather I'd rather feel something other than just being happy all the time. Oh, I didn't know there's an edition with drawings in it. That's cool. Did Did you read American Gods? I have not. I haven't read any of, I already forgot his name. I Who wrote American Gods? I think The Last Unicorn is, with all its sadness, one of the few examples nowadays that spreads hope instead of dwelling on dark. Yes. Yes. Love that. Yes. Cricket Hill, that is, yes. So true. Oh, and I'm also partial to Smedrick. I think Smedrick is my favorite wizard of all time. He's right up there with Gandalf. Oh yeah, Neil Gaiman. Yeah, I heard my friend Trevor said Neil Gaiman's writing style is just not for him. And I trust his opinion, but you know, everyone likes different writing styles. So um, I don't know. Maybe it's a big book, and I'm not ready yet. Something tells me you have like 300 hours. Surprisingly, not really. I keep playing Stardew Valley, like restarting it, and then I'll get distracted with another game or get busy with life, and you know, want to restart another time. So I never get far in that game. First chapter with Chris. Great hanging out with you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Um, yeah, I'll probably be closing up shop here in a bit. Um, yeah, what are we looking forward to this week? Any exciting plans? Any big authors you're yet to touch but would like to, not counting Robin Hobb. Now she's your next read. Yeah, it's crazy. Robin Hobb, I kept hearing her all the time as a big author, and I would even see her do blurbs on other books, like Black Tongue Thief. Um, oh, there was another book. Oh, it's the Empire of the Vampire trilogy. She blurbed on that too. And when you see that big name blurbing on someone else's book, you're just like, okay, that must mean something, because Robin Hobb again is up there, and I don't think she gets enough credit. You keep hearing so much about Sanderson and Tolkien when it comes to fantasy. Like, what about, why can't we talk about Lynch and Rothfuss and Hobb? It's always about the two big big names. But that's another story. But to answer your question, I've yet to touch. Well, Frank Herbert, Dune. Uh, would Blake Crouch count as a big author? Because I haven't touched him, and I would like to read him. Uh, John Steinbeck, Ray Bradbury. Uh, I maybe Cormac McCarthy, but I read The Road a while ago. I can nominate moderators so I don't have to do it by myself. What are we talking about? Oh, are we still talking about the book club? Moderators. Oh, sounds like a lot of work. But I'm not gonna shut that idea down. Be in Chicago for the weekend, big Comic Con. I'm pumped. Nice. A couple friends that we hung out with the other day are moving to Chicago. I heard in Chicago, you don't put ketchup on a hot dog. It's not, they do mustard. Are you going to get the Switch 2? Oh, wow, the Switch 2. Let's talk about the Switch 2. Oof. Oof. Yikes. $80 games, $90 physical games. That right there, that's a no-go for me. I think I don't like that at all. That's that I don't care. The Switch by itself is one of the best systems ever made, playing so many great games on handheld and on the go and whatnot. I'm happy with what I have. Like, I don't need another iteration of Super Smash. I mean, yeah, Mario Kart looks great, but it's not going to play terribly different for me to want to spend $450 on a new system, $80 on a game, $90 on a physical game, but it's actually just the license for a digital game. That right there rubs me the wrong way big time. I losing physical media hurts me, and that's why I love books. They can't do a patch to this. They can't just come into your house, hey, I'm going to edit this book right now. No, they can't do that. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the Switch. Although I'm excited about the GameCube thing. But again, it's less physical games and more, hey, Game Pass, Nintendo Game Pass, play digitally. So then you don't own anything. I don't like that. Yeah, if a new Zelda comes and it's just then I'll absolutely get it. But I will be a late adopter for I feel like the chat is an hour ahead. Oh man. Does that mean we're all just on different wavelengths? I want it so bad, but my wife would not let me spend $80, $90 on Mario Kart. Yeah, it's $80, $90. It's insane. And the crazy thing is, my wife and I were talking about it. Video game systems have always been expensive. This is not anything new. These prices are not crazy. Like, sure, you could talk about the I word, inflation, but back in the day, the PS3 was 500, $600. Xbox 360, $500. The Nintendo Wii, $300. Video games have always been $50, $60 back in the day, even way back in the day. Here's to more conversations with you in the future. So you've talked here to have discussions about. Are you leaving? If you're leaving, Greg, great hanging out with you. I just hope it won't have Joy-Con drift. Yeah. The Pro controller. Just buy that. Buy the Pro controller, you're good. Best controller in all of video games. It holds a charge, no drift. Sets a precedent. Yeah, I think that's another thing I'm a little not nervous about because it's like it's out of your control. It's more about just kind of sad that Nintendo is setting the example of, hey, video games are going to be $80, $90 now. Grand Theft Auto 6. If there's any game that is worth $100, let me just say, it's Grand Theft Auto. But yeah, they're going to set the example of for the video game industry, and it'll just mean everyone will follow suit. Xbox and also it will mean everyone's just going to jump on Game Pass. And Game Pass is nice, but you're still spending $20 a month. Oh yeah, the game's free, but you're still spending $20 a month. And you're getting Xbox Live, you're getting all these great games, but something I always preach on my channel, more is not always great. It also means you'll develop that habit of just playing a little bit of one game because it's free within the membership, and then you'll jump to another game and to another game. And you're never giving one game the attention it deserves. And that's my issue with Game Pass and just kind of modern gaming as a whole. We have access to everything so easily at the just a click of a button. And that's my issue with just digital gaming as a whole. Fortunately, I don't want to be a hater. Modern gaming don't justify their enormous budgets for me. The quality certainly hasn't increased, except maybe for the unicorns. Like, yeah, I agree. And I think That's that's um that's a good point. When you think of quality of like clothing, quality of food, there's different prices there. I think there should be different prices within the video game industry. Sure, you got your $20, $15 indie darlings, but the mainstay AAA games by AAA companies are always $50, $60, $70. Um, I feel like certain companies like Baldur's Gate 3, it's not a company, but the game, Cyberpunk, Witcher 3, those games that provide that kind of, I say, Gucci quality, or just that higher end quality, those should be up in a higher end market. But again, you're trying to be accessible for everyone, and that's just a whole nother thing. But if there is any reason for a price hike, I think it's because of the quality. And I think Nintendo's just doing that price hike because they're like, hey, you'll buy it. We'll get away with it. Just read Lies of you just read Lies of Lockmora. Started it the same day you did before you put it down. Gotta say, didn't love it. It wasn't bad by any means, but something about it just didn't grab me. It's not for everyone. And it grabbed me in the beginning, but again, I got distracted by another book. But in my opinion, the best AAA stuff is Japanese or European. I agree. I don't know what's going on with America with even films. What's films and TV? Like, some of my favorite films are French, French directors, Denis Villeneuve. Some of my favorite actors are British. Like, where's the risk taking? Where's the storytelling? Where's the innovation? And then you look at video games. You look at these Polish companies, CD Projekt Red, the Souls games, and Nintendo. Like, that right there, knowing the quality and the passion and the effort they put in, I don't mind. I'll pay because it's quality. I don't mind going out to eat because I know it's going to be quality. Whereas fast food, that's not necessarily quality, and I don't want to pay the same price for, going out to eat. Now we're getting into all sorts of stuff, but let's see if we could catch up here. 120 bucks. What is your tattoo? What does your tattoo say? First time see it? Oh, this one? It's my dear son, I am so proud of you. It's my mom's handwriting from the beginning of a letter. Yeah, I think also with like deluxe editions of games being $100 to $120, I could see games being 100 and something bucks for sure. Have I ever played Alien Isolation? No, but my gosh, I've heard great things. Yeah, Larian knows what's up. I love them. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 6. Yeah. I got let down big time with Rockstar. They did that Grand Theft Auto trilogy re-release, and that messed up. That messed me up. I lost trust in what they do as a company because they just kind of threw it out to a third party developer and just wanted the cash. No passion, no love. Have I completed Persona 5? No, I have not. Joining in late, Jari, how you doing? I appreciate you for coming in. But again, if any game is worth it and with that much depth and quality, I would pay for it. And that's only because I don't pay for games day one anymore. I'm a late bloomer when it comes to that. I'm like, hey, I'll buy it when it's on sale, or I just have so much, of a backlog that I'm going to enjoy Persona 5, even though that game came out 8 years ago. Like I recently just beat Witcher 3 a couple months ago, and that came out 10 years ago. My gosh. What about Wolverine game that announced like 5 years ago? I have no idea what that is. Have you read The Silent Patient? If not, then I highly recommend it. Never heard of it. I'm itching to play Oblivion or Skyrim from all the fantasy books. Oh yeah, those are great games. I would recommend waiting till like November when winter hits. Cozy vibes. Lord of the Rings, Dune. There are other stories hearsay detected. I only say that because I don't know. There are a handful of people, or just there are a lot of people I feel like that just can't graduate from Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings that's fantasy, and sure, but fantasy is a wide genre, and I feel like if you just say, "Hey, Lord of the Rings is fantasy, Dune is fantasy," yeah, or Dune is sci-fi, okay. Michael Jordan is basketball, Tom Brady is football, but guess what? There's more players. Video games is Pong, or video games is Super Mario. There's more to it, and we can't just constantly stay on one book series the whole time. Ever thought about trying Warhammer 40K books? Oh, no, I have not. I hear that universe is wild. It's a lot. What's your favorite GameCube game? What is my favorite GameCube game? I just keep thinking back on Mario Kart Double Dash. Some people say that about Lord of the Rings and Dune, but there are other people like me who read plenty of other things as well. And I know there are. There are plenty of people who read other things. But when we're always comparing what we read to Lord of the Rings and to Dune, I think it could mess with the enjoyment of something. Skyrim is my favorite game. Oh yeah, I know that. It's one of my favorites. The way you present your videos, it resonates with me like I am near a calm beach and a cool wind blowing past me. Love your work, from India. Wow. That's awesome. It's funny you guys say that my videos are calming to you. I feel like it's calming to me, being able to get in front of the camera and just talk and hang out and share my love with you, and my love for books and other things. It's great. It's awesome. Halo books? No, haven't. Halo books, the video game books, the Star Wars books, I wouldn't know where to begin. Favorite PlayStation and PC game? PlayStation, I'm going to go ahead and say growing up, Sly Cooper, but as an adult, Last of Us. PC game, Sims 2, or Freddy Fish, or Pajama Sam. I'm always looking for an underrated recommended read. Underrated? Last Unicorn. I'm sorry. It's just no one talks about it. Can only hope The Name of the Wind would be adapted to a game. Oh, I would hope it gets adapted to a TV show. And I've said this in a video before. If anyone is going to adapt Name of the Wind, I need it to be European. And I need it to be like maybe Polish, or maybe not Nordic, but I need it in another foreign language, foreign from English, because when I was reading Name of the Wind, I thought, in my mind, I felt like everyone had, it was multiple languages in that book, and it was very diverse and exotic. And I didn't think your typical like English, British kind of voices, characters, the way they were talking. I felt it was very like Eastern European, maybe. What do you think of Studio Ghibli? Not much of a anime fan. I know Studio Ghibli does amazing work and is just really true artists in that craft and the pacing and the cinematography. I hear amazing things. My wife loves Howling Castle. Do you think Minecraft will win Oscar for the Best Picture? Absolutely. Minecraft, I think Minecraft is one of the greatest films ever made. What music do I like? What music do I like? All sorts. I like that folk acoustic kind of singer-songwriter kind of stuff. I love the classics like Beach Boys and Fleetwood Mac. I love rap like Kendrick Lamar and oh gosh, so many out there. I love man, I'm looking at my record player right now. I'm looking at the Black Keys. Love that. Love blues. Tame Impala. Perfect. I don't play any instruments, but for work, I listen to a lot of music because I have to license music for my wedding films. And I love piano. I love cello. I love violin. Uh, I love those instruments and how they are used to evoke feeling and emotion in music. And I primarily work with piano in my films because a lot of wedding films are very cheesy with the acoustic guitar and the happy-go-lucky bright colors. But I'm very, you could say I'm very inspired by European style filmmaking and that subtle approach to storytelling in wedding films. So, can't find your video about Witcher 3. Have you deleted it? No, I don't think I have. It's somewhere. It's somewhere over there. Yeah, I don't think Name of the Wind can ever become a game. It's not like Harry Potter. Harry Potter is very whimsical and fantastic and has a lot of elements that can be very video gamey. Name of the Wind is very it's very mundane, and not even how Witcher is very ordinary in its storytelling, but there are some exotic elements to it that are dangerous and that can craft a kind of video game environment. Name of the Wind? No, it couldn't. There's not enough there. Now, okay, let's talk about video games. So Sanderson, what Sanderson book would be a good video game? I agree, Mistborn, but it's already been created. Dishonored. Those two games. Wave Kings has a lot of action. They made a VR game out. Wait, they made a VR game out of it? I didn't know about that. Wow. That's interesting. Yeah, if there's any fantasy book or series that could be a video game, it's definitely Sanderson. And also Dungeon Crawler Carl. It's not really fantasy, but there's just some wacky RPG elements to it, and that'd be fun. That'd be really fun. I think I might be we'll do 10 more minutes and then I'll hop off. Do I like chess? Yes, I do. I'm not good at it, but I love it. I love chess. And I love how there's so much variety in that game and how it really gets your brain to it exercises your brain a lot. Sometimes it hurts, but it's a good hurt. Wave Kings VR game is called Escape the Shattered Plains. There are videos here on YouTube. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like the wacky humor of Dungeon Crawler Carl would just be a fun game environment because we just haven't had a video game that is kind of funny and comedic and doesn't take itself too seriously while also being a really good video game. I think the Green Bones Saga would be amazing in both video game and TV format. Okay. Oh yeah, the Hitchhiker's Guide. Wait, what? They have a Hitchhiker's game? Didn't know that. How is it that American film will adapt not that great literature, but then leave books like Name of the Wind untouched? I'm happy they leave Name of the Wind untouched. I don't want American filmmakers touching that. Mm-mm. And thankfully, Roth has bought back the film and TV rights. I don't want anyone touching it. I feel like I don't want to toot my own horn, okay? But my friend Trevor and I, you give us the opportunity, we'll make it happen. You know, Nielsen, something like that. Oh my gosh, he's a European actor. Mads. I would. Mads. Mads. Oh, Mads Mikkelsen. This guy. He needs to be in Name of the Wind. That kind of grittiness and tone. He'd be a perfect maybe teacher. Oh, so good. Do you read DC Comics? I was asked this last stream, I think. I do read I read the graphic novels, the Batman graphic novels, like Long Halloween, Dark Victory, some of the best storytelling in comics, I think. So good. So good. Oh, have I watched yes, I have watched Dark. Yes. It's so good. Um, my father-in-law, he watched it in English dubbed, and I lost respect for him. There's something about watching a foreign film in its native language that sets the tone. There is a reason it's in that language. You have to respect it. And is it Bong Joon-ho? He did Parasite and Lost Memories or something. The one of his first detective movies. Anyways, just you have to read it or watch it in its native language. And so watching Dark in German, yes, you can't watch it in English. One of the best shows, period. You think Game of Thrones had all these family trees and family lineages? Dark was like, hold my beer. What are books 2 and 3 compared to book 1 of Name of the Wind? I still have to finish book 1, but I've held off for too long. There is no book 3 in Name of the Wind. It's unfinished, but book 2 is just a continuation, and it's very gradual. Wait, Name of the Wind is a series? Are you asking if it's a series in TV or it's a book? It's a trilogy, an unfinished trilogy. It's the King Killer Chronicle. Greg, that could not be more true. Greg, what did you say? So it doesn't end up being the Game of Thrones problem. Rothfuss has to finish Kingkiller first before they make a TV show. Yeah, I agree. Have you tried reading manga? No, although it takes up an entire wall in Barnes and Noble, and I'm like, that's a world that I'm not ready for. I have that little bookshelf right there that I want to enjoy before diving into something like that. What else going on in your life? How do you manage all this reading, work, playing video games, and all? Well, what's going on in my life? Well, we've got my 1-year wedding anniversary coming up. I've got emails, I've got blogs that I have to do for work, phone calls, um, and, you know, coffee dates with my wife. Uh, we're just filming a wedding. We're filming 2 weddings in a couple weeks. Um, YouTube, but it's not work. This is just kind of fun. Uh, but yeah, and then in downtime, usually in the morning when it's quiet, I like to read. Or at night before bed. It's just kind of a nice quiet hour of time to read and hang out. Just wanted to comment that I really loved your videos. Also, what music do you enjoy? And additionally, what are your thoughts on John Steinbeck? Rowan, thank you so much for hanging out. Really appreciate that. The music I enjoy, I've already talked about that earlier, but it's all sorts of stuff. Pretty much anything but country and metal. And the music I enjoy most are the songs and pieces that really evoke emotion, and the music that I work with in my films. So a lot of piano and cello instrumentals. John Steinbeck, I don't know too much. I know of him, just haven't read too much of him, but I plan to read him eventually. Every time you talked about it, I thought it was one book. I know, I talk about it as one book, Name of the Wind, but Name of the Wind is one book, but the second book is Wise Man's Fear, and it's the second book in the trilogy. What is my age? Well, I am turning. Okay, let's do that. Let's guess. How old do you think I look? How old do you think I am? Let's do that first. Although I think I've already told a lot of you how old I am. Congrats on the 1-year anniversary. Thank you. Thank you. Will we ever see your wife? Yeah, I have a couple videos of her. I have a Dungeon Crawler Carl review and a kind of channel Q&A. So go check those out. Would be fun to do a live stream with her. Hey, I'm late. Do we know what we're reading next? Yes. I am reading Assassin's Apprentice. I'm already 40 pages in, and let me tell you, I'm loving it. It's right up my alley with the pace, the character work, it's so good. 32. Ever think about starting a book club? We were talking about that earlier. I would like to do that. I think I'll go the route of we kind of vote for a book and we have a month to read it, and then we have a live stream together and we just talk about that book. 27, 28, 35 to 39. Whoa! 28, you're going to be 31 or 32, turning 31, I believe. Okay. Here it is. Turning 31, June 25th. So that'll be fun. I am getting some gray hair, a little bit here, a little bit there, getting some gray here, but that's just how it is. That's what happens getting old. I don't know my Russian heritage. I was adopted, and I started getting gray about 3 years ago, and it's just kind of gradual. And that's just how it is. It's okay. Although I'm turning 31, I still feel like I can be a little kid again, and just have that joy for life. You think I will ever write a novel? We talked about this last stream and I was cut off short. I would love to. I would love to write. I actually did start writing a bit of a book. It's going to be a collection of short stories, fantasy, and less fantastic and more character focused. And yeah, it's tough. I think it's been almost a year and I've written 2 paragraphs. Just need to write that first page. Once you write it, you just keep writing. And you need to write like no one else is reading it. I really like Robin Hobb's prose. Absolutely. Wow, that's your wife's birthday is June 25th. Let's go, Greg. Love it. Welcome to the 30s. I know. It's been nice. My first year into my 30s has been way too fast. The true sci-fi. Yes, I am being a gatekeeper. Read Blind Sight. Okay. Same age, turning 31 in a month. All right, Dean. Dan? Don? Uh, have you read Will of Many? No, I have not, but I have heard great things about it, and I may have to give that a shot. If you guys keep recommending it, I may have to just dive in because, oh man, everyone keeps talking about it. It's a trilogy, right? It's an unfinished trilogy. You're only a year older than your celebrity doppelganger, Leon. What? Hold up. I gotta look this guy up. Think I'm a doppelganger of a soccer player? Okay, Leon Gore. Gore. Oh man, see, talk about my eyesight too. Like an old man here. Gore. Oh wow. That's something. I guess I look like this guy. All right. What genre do you see yourself liking other than fantasy and sci-fi? That's tough. Because I feel like anything outside of fantasy and sci-fi, it's just kind of Stephen King and John Steinbeck. I think for me, I look at books more from the authors rather than genre because Stephen King is very versatile in his writing. Sure, you call him the king of horror, but I think he's much less a horror writer and more just a good storyteller. And he has so many different stories. So I look at I look at books outside of fantasy in that light of, hey, just stories, other authors. So outline your first outline your story first. Yeah, maybe. I think I just want to write until I don't know. Just want to write a little something. Just get an idea down. I have an idea, but uh be glad you're not 55. Well, 55 is a great number. Isn't there a song, I Can't Drive 55? It's a good one. You might be old enough to know that song, Greg. Wish to meet you once before I die. Well, maybe if we cross paths at a coffee shop. Have you read any classics? Have I read any classics? Yes, because I think classics are just, I've read The Hobbit, I've read I think I've read Dungeon Crawler Carl. That is a classic in the making. Read Misery. I've read Salem's Lot. Those are classics in my mind. Classics like Crime and Punishment, Pride and Prejudice. I don't know. I guess classics are its own genre. So I haven't read any of those classics. Read Hyperion. I know. I know. Bro, just like me using the screen protector with 100 scratches. I know. This is a messed up phone. It's I don't know. It works. It's fine. I don't need to it works. That's all that matters. Cricket Hill, it was great chatting with you, hanging out. I think I might be hopping off. It's been an hour and a half stream. I think that's a good time to say goodbye. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with me and just chatting. If you're just getting in here, I am reading this next. I finished this. I have a book review on that. You can watch that if you'd like. I will be doing a live stream about this book with David, Four Corners of the Page. And this is what I am currently reading. So look forward to talking about that in the coming weeks. I have a few videos in the works. And yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me and spending your time with me. And it means a lot. So thank you. And this won't be the last stream. So have a good Monday and a good week.